Hey, and welcome back to By Myself But Not Alone. This is episode 2, Minneapolis, Minnesota. So at the end of the last episode, my friend Jeff jumped in his truck and he headed home. I jumped on I-90 West and I headed for Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was a really cool drive. It should have been a short drive. Should have taken about 3 hours and 45 minutes. It was about 250 miles, somewhere in there. But true to form, I made a couple wrong turns and I ended up sightseeing. Even though it was raining hard the whole way, I still wanted to get out there and kind of get lost for a minute. And I did that more than once. The first one happened when the highway split and I was in the wrong lane and there was a big truck. Wasn't going to let me in. So I ended up in Lodi was the name of the town. It was really cool. I just would have kept driving to see the sights, but the water on either side of the road was just about to come into the road. It had been raining for weeks up there. And I had heard a lot of the locals talking about, possible flooding, and it was apparent everywhere I looked. So I didn't go too far, but it was really nice scenery. I hit the Dells, Wisconsin Dells, and I'd heard about that my whole life. I don't ever remember going through there. And the scenery was just awesome, even with the rain. But anyway, after about 5.5, 6 hours into my 4-hour trip, I realized that I hadn't reserved a hotel yet, and it was kind of starting to get into the day. So I pulled into a rest area, jumped on hotels.com, found one, read the reviews, 6.0, that's not too bad. They said they had Wi-Fi, I reserved it, and I headed on. I woke up the next morning, packed my stuff, loaded the car. I had originally thought if I like the place, I'll get it for 2 nights. But I was thinking, no, I'm probably going to go ahead and head straight to Nebraska after the show that night. But I was going to wait till later and see how it all panned out. So with that thought in mind, I realized, oh my God, I got to get my Minnesota postcards if I'm going to be leaving out after the show, or if that was even possible. I've got a handful of friends that I'm trying to send a postcard to from each show, just a couple. But postcards aren't always easy to find, so I probably went to 10 places and couldn't find one anywhere. So I punched up truck stop in Google Maps, and what I ended up doing was going back into Wisconsin and buying Minnesota postcards before the show. Then I came back to Minnesota and mailed them, headed on down to the Target Center. By this time it started raining again. It started raining so hard I kind of couldn't see anything. I was just slightly freaked out, but I figured, calm down, boy, and just follow the car ahead of you. So I did. I followed the car ahead of me, followed the signs, took me right downtown to the Target Center. A couple blocks before the Target Center, I'm just driving along and I looked to my left and I saw a giant Bob Dylan mural. I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan. If I could go back and change one thing from the trip, I would have pulled off somewhere and took a picture of that sucker. It was just beautiful. But with the weather and the traffic and the fact that I could see the Target Center was right a couple blocks down the road, I wasn't messing with it. I finally got into a parking garage and I headed to the Target Center. When I got down there out front of the Target Center, one of the local radio stations was having a pre-show party in the street. It was kind of cool. It was raining hard, but it wasn't quite like in Madison. There were plenty of awnings and just places where you could get up out of the rain. I stood there for a little while watching the radio station give prizes to the crowd. I turned around and was happy to see fellow black ticket holder Guillermo from Florida. I met him in Madison, but I didn't get to talk to him, but recognized him right away, and we kind of hung out there for a few minutes, and he told me what was going on, where the black ticket line was. This time it was inside, not outside. So with all the rain, there wasn't a chance that anybody was going to get soaked. We talked about the 2 projects that I have going on. Not only am I trying to make a video for each city, but I'm also trying to meet and get an introduction from all 250 black ticket holders on the tour. Then we're just going to take the introductions and mash them all together. It'll be a pretty good little souvenir at the end of all this, a log of all the people we got to meet. So Guillermo expressed his excitement in regards to both projects, and he volunteered. He said, hey, let's go ahead and get started now. So he gave me his introduction, and then the second part, the little video in each city. My idea is to take my camera around, just picking random people, and ask them just some basic questions about their Metallica fandom. What's your name? Where are you from? Have you seen Metallica before? How many times? Do you have a favorite band member, favorite song, favorite album? Is there someone in your life that turned you on to Metallica in the first place? Is there something you'd like to say to the band if they would happen to see this video? Just stuff like that. I'm gonna go around and get that from a lot of people. That's the plan. And then just kind of chop it all together and see what comes up. So anyway, as I said, Guillermo was pretty excited about that, so I got my introduction from Guillermo for the one project, and then I asked him some questions. And then after that, we went ahead and he showed me where the black ticket line was. We went in, got checked in, got our hard copy ticket, looked over, and I saw tons of people, a lot of black ticket holders. It was a lot easier than it had been in Madison. I just basically started going up talking to people, black ticket holders and non-black ticket holders alike. So rather than sit here and try to explain to you all the interactions that occurred, let me show you some of them. Meet some of my friends. Where are you from?
Eric Marshall from Owatonna, Minnesota.
Clint Jepson, Albert Lee, Minnesota.
My name is Guillermo Ojeda. I'm from Miami, Florida.
What's your name and where are you from?
Tony Nelson from Clear Lake, Iowa.
Right on. That's quite a travel to get here.
Oh, not too bad. Home of the Surf Ballroom.
Okay.
It's a good venue for concerts.
What's your name and where are you from?
Dan Rayroller from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I'm Joe from North Minneapolis.
My name is Kevin. I'm from Woking, Minnesota.
My name is Jordan. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Right on. Oh, there you go.
My buddy right here.
How long have you been a Metallica fan?
I've been a Metallica fan since I was about 7 years old, 1988.
How long have you been a Metallica fan?
Since 91.
My whole life.
How long is that? How old are you?
I'm 37.
So your whole life.
About 20 years.
20 years?
Forever.
How long is forever?
38 years.
Oh yeah, 38 years.
Oh, yeah.
You're a year ahead of me. You don't look that old.
37, because they were around in 81.
Have you ever seen them live before?
This is my fourth time.
Fourth time.
96 down in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes, this is going to be my 24th show.
24th show, awesome. Have you seen them live before? Did I ask you that?
I've never seen Metallica before, no.
First time.
It's my first time.
You're in for it.
Many times.
Many times? You got a number?
25. Yes, I have.
How many times?
Twice. Once at US Bank Stadium, once here about 10 years ago.
Yes, I have.
How many
times?
Many times?
Many times. Once with Guns N' Roses about 25 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was a hell of a tour. You have one person in your life that influenced you, turned you on to Metallica? Or did you just kind of, like older brother, sister, parents, anything like
Just
that?
basically me.
My brothers.
Older brother?
Yeah, I got two brothers that are 11 and 12 years older than me.
Right on. Are they down here?
Well,
You with them?
they're in the area, but they're not here tonight.
I just ran into it randomly. It was a cassette that somebody at school gave it to me, and then one side had AC/DC. Then I flipped it to the other side, and the first thing I heard was "7 True." And at that moment, it changed my life. No, one of my good friends from high school got me into metal, and he got me into Metallica.
Nope. I was 11 years old, watching MTV, and saw the video for one, and my whole world changed. My brother.
Your brother? Older?
Yes.
Party animal?
He was. Yep.
Right on.
His first concert was Monsters of Rock at the old Metrodome.
Okay.
Probably my friend Hector Shanda. We ditched high school to come down here at First Avenue to see them before they were even anybody.
Excellent. Who turned you on to Metallica in the first place? And who is this?
Jeff.
Jeff? Say where you're from?
Grand Portage, Minnesota.
And your name is Jeff?
Jeff, yeah.
Alrighty. How long have you been a Metallica fan?
81.
Oh yeah, an original trooper. Who turned you on to the band first?
Local radio station where I used to live.
There you go. Do you live in California?
First time I heard him was in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay, cool. That was a hell of a radio station then.
That had a rock station.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Right on.
My cousin Tony, in the cabin up in Aiken, Minnesota, at the cabin, he had Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and Justice wasn't even out yet. But that Ride the Lightning cover was, when you're 6 or 7, that's some gnarly shit.
Hell yes.
He's like, come in here, Ride the Lightning.
Excellent.
That was the end of that.
Favorite album?
Probably Hardwired.
Hardwired. It's very good, isn't it?
Master of Puppets.
Me too.
Ride the Lightning, first album I owned.
That's your all-time favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, Master of Puppets.
That's my favorite album as well.
That's way too hard to do. That's way too hard to do.
It's a perfect
So
answer.
if you force me into it right now, I'd probably have to say Puppets.
Has to be Ride the Lightning.
Alrighty.
Kill 'em all.
Kill 'Em All is your favorite.
I like the Black Album and the new one.
Okay.
Favorite album is actually Alone, and I know that's not a popular opinion,
That's an awesome
but
answer.
I love that album.
If you could guarantee yourself one song to be played tonight, what would it be?
You know, we were talking about that on the way up. I'd like to hear Mama Said because I like it.
That's a hell of an answer.
But I don't think they're going to play it. It's not on the set list. Want to Save My Life.
One.
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black. That's my favorite song, dude.
Blackened.
Blackened. Now here's another one of them that's impossible, but if you could pick one song that you're guaranteed to hear tonight, what would it be?
Well, I know for sure what I'm going to. I mean, Enter Sandman gets played every night.
Yeah, but no, if
I
you
had
could
to
pick
pick
one, then you got guaranteed listen.
No Leaf Clover.
Right on, dude. Do you guys have to work out, or do you get to watch a show tonight?
He does. I get stuck out here all night.
Ah, okay, so you don't. Okay, supposing you were going in, if you could pick one song that you were guaranteed to hear, what would it be?
Wherever I may roam.
Oh, that's. If you could pick one song that you'd be guaranteed to hear tonight, what would it be?
Songs I like, they're probably not going to play. I like Creeping Down.
Oh, that's excellent.
I'm old school. I like
They
old
might
stuff.
play it. If you could pick one song that you're guaranteed to hear tonight, what would
One
it
song,
be?
Outlaw Torn. It happened in 2000, and I missed that show because it was like the third show. So we'll play that again tonight. I'll be there.
Favorite band member, past or present?
Right, James.
James, your favorite band member, past or present?
That's hard, man. It's hard.
It's almost impossible.
They all got their unique traits, even the ones that aren't original. You know,
Right
every
on.
single one of them. Cliff, he's gone. We wish he wasn't, but he is. You know, Newstead, he wrote the Blackened riff. You know, I mean, that's a technical riff. It screws up all of us. And now, Rob, that was the right man for the job. I mean, seriously.
Oh, Cliff. Cliff for sure.
That's a hell of an answer.
Probably Kirk.
Kirk? Right on, he's cool. Give a shout out to anybody?
Just my lovely wife Raina over there.
Alrighty.
Keith and Tad, my brothers.
No, just to the rest of the Metallica family on the road, and looking forward to seeing all of you guys.
Anything you want to say to the band?
Thanks for everything you guys do, and we owe you a great deal. Thank you guys.
I'll say thank you to my wife for allowing me to buy the Hardwired experience.
Kid Rock, I love you. My brothers, especially Greg.
Right on. You got anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My nephew Greg and my nephew Russ.
Right on. Well, thank you guys. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? You want to say anything to the band in case they would happen to
I'll
see
give a
this?
shout out to all the band members. Thank you for doing all the backstage shit you do, all the behind the scenes, all the rehearsal videos since forever. You guys have been the best band for fans. Period. I'll always throw it out to Jason Newstead. Jason, I just bought a Master of Puppets original print, a Master of Puppets original vinyl print with your signature on there. I spent like $600 on that thing. It was worth it. I love you, Jason.
Right on. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Pratik. I'm from Nepal, but I live here now. My name is Kismat Srashta. I'm from Nepal as well. I'm Ruben. I'm from Nepal as well, but living here since 2002.
Alrighty. How long have you been a Metallica fan?
Too long. Since 8th grade.
8th grade?
Yeah, that's when we first heard. I can't remember. I'm 20 years old. My brother got me into Metallica, and like all my life, basically.
Alrighty. Do you have a favorite song? That's a hard one. If you could hear one song guaranteed tonight, what would it be?
You gotta have a favorite song. I can't. It's like 5 fingers. Which one do you pick?
Exactly. I get it.
Orion. Orion
ass.
is my favorite song.
Alrighty. Favorite album? Can you give us that?
Master Puppets.
Oh, kill them all. Kill them all.
I'm with this guy, Puppets. Alrighty. Do you have one person in your life that you credit with originally turning you on to Metallica?
One person
Yeah,
in my life that
turned you on to Metallica originally?
I don't think anybody did.
Just found
I just happened to pick up an album and I think it was Master of Puppets first
Well,
one.
you did good that day. How about you?
Like I said, it was my brother. My brother's name is Daniel.
Alrighty.
Shout out to my friend Chaman. He's the one who got me into Metallica. I was
Alrighty.
like all Guns N' Roses and Skid Row, and he's like, you got to listen to Metallica.
Well, that was the next question. If you want to give a shout out to anybody, you got one? You want to
Yeah, my best friend.
give a shout out?
My brother Daniel.
Alrighty.
Shout out to the rest of the band members from Albatross, from who missed out on tonight's show.
There you go. Do you have a favorite band member, past or present?
Favorite band?
Band member
Member?
of Metallica, past or present? Haven't gotten that yet.
We shouldn't have let Newstead go.
Okay. How about you?
I agree to that.
Wow. We're going to go with Mustaine?
No, Kirk Hammett, actually.
Kirk Hammett? Right
Yeah,
on.
I love his style of playing.
Okay, you got anything you want to say to the band if they would happen to see this video?
You guys missed out on a great show.
No, to Metallica.
To Metallica.
To Metallica.
If they
You gotta
would,
come out to Nepal.
Yeah.
You gotta play a show in Nepal because there's tons of fans.
there you go.
Nepal. My first time here. Albatross will open. Yes.
All right, there we go. So that turned out pretty good. By the time we got inside the arena, I just kind of started going around meeting a lot of people. A lot of black ticket holders. I kind of was going out of my way to see how many I could meet. Due to the poor lighting and the background noise going on inside, that's where the video stopped, and I just started taking pictures. But I met a lot of cool people. I met the crew from Texas: Sam, Andy, Wally, Mindy. James Bach was with them from Korea. I met the legendary Vikings from Norway, Ola and Glenn. I got a chance to talk to Joe Pasella for a few minutes. That was pretty cool. He was telling me about his project. Now, Joe's a professional cameraman, and he's filming a documentary on the WorldWired Tour. I'll tell you more about that in future episodes. It was pretty cool getting to compare notes with him for a minute. I met the crew from Sweden: Paula, Eric, Simon, and Oscar. I met David Carvajal, Brad Derry, Jason from Ohio. These are the ones that are coming to mind as I'm thinking right now. Now, as far as Jim's show went, the second night in comparison to the first night, it was day and night. I mean, he gave it a good effort in Madison, but I mean, they really tightened it up. They revamped. They really put their heads together, Jim and Joe. At the first show, Joe was up on stage DJing from the stage. This time, Joe was off with the other sound guys, and Jim had the whole stage to himself. I'm really not sure how they solved their problems so quickly, but it took them 2 shows to get it tight. It was about an hour long. It was perfect leading up to the Metallica show. I kept watching the clock. I didn't want to miss any of Jim's show, but periodically he has 2 and 3 song breaks where Joe will spin some tunes. So had my eye on the clock, and based on when Metallica would be coming out, and I got a break. I ran out and got a tall glass of Jack and Coke. Came back in. Jim did his final little bit, introduced the band. Metallica came on. And I don't need to go too far into the Metallica details. They bring it every night. But there were just a few things that really stuck out from this show. First of all, I got to hear Bread Fan. I have a special place in my heart for that song. That was awesome. But even better yet, I had my No Leaf Clover shirt on that my girl Tammy Frierson sent me in Color Our World Blackened episode. I was wearing my No Leaf Clover shirt. 5 or 6 people before the show said, too bad we won't be hearing that. Hey, you never know. That was my answer each time. And a few songs into their opening set, I think it was the 5th song maybe, they played No Leaf Clover for the first time live since 2011, and it was just incredible. They nailed it. The crowd response was awesome. And finally, the biggest thing that sticks out to me from the Minneapolis show was when they played The Memory Remains. And the crowd took over because Marianne Faithfull was not in the house. The crowd did her part. When that chant got rolling at the end of the song, I got goosebumps that rival the goosebumps that I get at the beginning of each show from the Ecstasy of Gold. I mean, it was just incredible. It was so loud. The crowd was in it. It was incredible. If you were there, you remember. If you weren't, look it up on YouTube. After the show, I got to hang out and meet some more black ticket holders. Oh, Wally. Wally tracked me down before the show. I was going to show you this. I don't know if you can see that very well, but these are static window clings put in the back of your car. It says Black Ticket Roamer. It's got the M. Black Ticket here, Roamer here, the Black Snake. It's the design straight off of the Black Ticket. But I thought it was pretty cool that Wally and Mindy took the time to organize these. Everybody kicked in and he ran around handing them out, everybody that ordered one. I'm not sure how many he ordered, but I thought it was really cool that he took the time to do that. It's kind of a way as you're cruising down the road to let people know who you are and where you're headed. But what's cooler yet is that Wally and Minnie took the time to do that. So thanks, Wally. I'm going to put it on my car before the next leg. I had to check the legalities of obstructed view and all that good stuff. I'm an old guy now. But anyway, it looks like in Illinois I'm allowed to have that in my back window. So that's where it's going to be next time you see me. Something else I wanted to show you. Before the show, I met two of the guys from California to Self-Destruct, Edgar and Robert Trujillo. That's his real name. But I met those guys out front, did their black ticket interview, but I thought this was really, really cool. They gave me pics from their local chapter. They each gave me one. They said, you get two. But it was just really cool. Thanks Robert, Edgar. You guys rock. These are going right in with my pic collection. And speaking of that, as I told you in the first episode, I'm trying to get two pics per city. And once again, I managed to get 2 pics from Minnesota. So it was a good night. I got a couple other ones. They've got all sorts of designs. Got the Robert, got the black WorldWired, I got the Robert, and I got the Lars. I don't know how well you can see that. But anyway, I had already made up my mind by this point that I wasn't going to mess around trying to find a hotel. If I did that, it'd be 2 or 3 in the morning before I got checked in. Then I ended up having to wake up, check out by 11 o'clock. Just wasn't worth it. So I headed to the parking garage, jumped in my car, headed on down the highway heading for Lincoln, Nebraska. But as far as the Minneapolis show goes, that was an incredible crowd. Madison had a really cool crowd. I'm not comparing the two. Wow, you guys in Minneapolis know how to party. It was crazy, especially that Marianne Faithfull deal. I'm never going to forget that. The memory remains, and that memory shall remain. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed meeting some of the fans I met in Minneapolis. I hope you'll look forward to coming back and meeting the fans I meet in Nebraska, the Dakotas, and Canada. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you like what we have going on here, we'd appreciate it greatly if you'd support us with a subscription. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down, leave us a comment, tell us how we're doing. If you found yourself in the video, we'd appreciate it greatly if you'd share it with your friends on social media. I'm going to say it one more time to all the good folks in Minneapolis. You guys rock. Thank you for the party. Next stop, Lincoln, Nebraska. I'll see you there. Until then, rock on.
Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane by the heavy rain on fingers wave, another star and eyes of rain.
Past all the Wisconsin Dells exits. That I might be going up there. It's been raining all fucking day. This is crazy.
Cigarettes up to lips at time forgets, while the Hollywood sun sets behind your back. Can the band play on? Just listen to play my song. Ash to ash, dust to dust, fade to black.